Was Idi Amin a brutal dictator, or was there more to his story than history remembers? Known as the Butcher of Uganda, he rose to power as a military leader but left behind a legacy shrouded in controversy, fear, and mystery. But who was the man behind the infamy? Stay with us as we uncover the rise and fall of Idi Amin, a man who went from a humble beginning to becoming one of history's most notorious leaders. His journey is as shocking as it is fascinating. Idi Amin was born around 1925 in Kiboko, a remote region in northwestern Uganda. His exact birth date remains uncertain. Born into the Kakwa ethnic group, Amin grew up in poverty, raised by his mother, who worked as a herbalist. Life was tough, and he had little access to formal education, but his physical strength and determination stood out from a young age. At the age of 20, Amin joined the British colonial army as a cook. However, his talent and resilience quickly caught the attention of his superiors. Over time, his ability to command respect and instill fear made him a rising star within the military. During the 1940s and 1950s, Amin served in the King's African Rifles (KAR), participating in military campaigns in Kenya and Burma. His reputation as a fearless soldier earned him promotions, eventually becoming one of the first native Ugandans to hold a high-ranking position in the army. When Uganda gained independence from Britain in 1962, Amin aligned himself with Prime Minister Milton Obote. Together, they orchestrated a military coup in 1966, which solidified their control over Uganda. However, greed and ambition would soon drive a wedge between the two men. In 1971, while Obote was out of the country, Amin seized power in a coup, declaring himself the president of Uganda. It was the beginning of a reign that would shape the nation's history forever. Amin's presidency started with promises of reform, prosperity, and national pride. However, it quickly spiraled into a regime marked by violence and repression. He expelled over 60,000 Asians from Uganda in 1972, accusing them of economic exploitation, a move that devastated the country's economy. His paranoia led to the execution of thousands of perceived enemies, from political rivals to innocent civilians. Estimates suggest that during his 8-year rule, over 300,000 people lost their lives. Despite his atrocities, Amin portrayed himself as a charismatic and larger-than-life figure, often dressing in flamboyant military uniforms and giving himself grand titles like Conqueror of the British Empire. Idi Amin's personal life was as chaotic as his political career. He was married at least 6 times and fathered over 40 children. His relationships were often marked by scandal and drama. Despite his public persona, those close to him described him as both charming and deeply insecure. Interestingly, Amin was also a skilled swimmer, boxer, and rugby player. He even served as the Ugandan national boxing champion in the 1950s. These qualities contributed to his reputation as a physically imposing leader. Amin's erratic policies and violent rule eventually isolated him internationally. By 1978, his government faced economic collapse, rebellion, and military defeats. The final blow came when he attempted to invade Tanzania. The Tanzanian forces, alongside Ugandan rebels, launched a counteroffensive, forcing Amin to flee the country in 1979. He lived the rest of his life in exile, moving between Libya, Iraq, and finally Saudi Arabia. Amin spent his final years in Jeddah, leading a quiet life away from the public eye. He passed away in 2003 due to kidney failure, leaving behind a legacy of devastation and unanswered questions. Idi Amin's rule left Uganda in ruins, but his story serves as a cautionary tale about power and its potential for destruction. While his crimes cannot be excused, His life also highlights the complexities of leadership and the impact of colonialism on African nations. Idi Amin's life is a stark reminder of how unchecked power and ambition can lead to ruin. It challenges us to think critically about leadership and to demand accountability from those in positions of authority. His story is not just Uganda's but a global lesson in the pursuit of justice and humanity. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating biographies and untold stories from around the world. Thank you for watching.